Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Note Closure Show. As always, Scott Carson, jacked up and excited today. Today's episode, I want to talk about a USA Today article that came out, and it talks a lot about what people need for retirement. I'll get to it in just a second, but I know that so many people probably clicked on this because the thumbnail said, "Don't give up believing." Don't give up retirement. And that's what we want to talk about. I was just having it literally 5 minutes ago before I logged on today, record this. I was having a conversation with a financial advisor here in town and about how people give up on their retirement number because the number seems so crazy high, right? Oh, I need 4 million to retire. I need 2 million to retire. I need 10 million to retire, right? And that number, when we don't have a chunk of it saved and we don't have a plan to get to that number, it makes it really difficult, especially right now with inflation being high, kind of recession aspect of things costing 20% more. Minimum wage might be going up in other areas of the country, but then people are getting laid off, right? So I know a lot of people are really focused on like the side hustle nature. Like I'm going to start working for DoorDash, or I'm going to start Ubering. Well, when those side gig economies start struggling, it makes it really even more difficult to get by. And today's episode is talking about this article, but going to give you a plan of action. If you will listen and then you take action, that's what it all comes out. You can't sit here and wallow in despair. That's the number one thing. You cannot wallow in despair about where you're at. Guess what? Pull up your big girl panties, Buttercup, and get to work, or big boy panties, or big trans panties, whatever you're wearing. Or maybe you're not wearing any panties, who knows? But get rocking and rolling and get the ball rolling. And I really found this article very interesting. I meant to get it out yesterday, but been busy on some stuff that we've been working on for retirement, stuff like that. And so I wanted to get this out because I think it's really valuable for each and every one of you that are listening to this, or if you're watching. Now, USA Today, this came out on the 2nd. The amount of money Americans think they need to retire comfortably hits a record high, a study said, okay? And they polled Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, baby boomers, the high net worth. And I want to go through what the article shared here for you. Americans on average say they need an average of about 1.46 million saved. That was the average across the board. That's a 53% increase from 2020 numbers, which stated 951,000, what we thought they needed. And it's a 15% increase from just last year alone of 1.27 million. So it's getting more expensive. And I need another 200 grand or $199,000 to get by, right? To start retirement. Well, the average American right now has 88,400 saved. That's the average American. That's obviously some higher, people higher, somebody below. A message on the article when I did a short video about this that, people don't have 500 bucks. Look, the average, okay, have 88,000 saved. That's down from 89.3 in 2021. It's down 10K from a peak of 98,800. Actually, it's down just a little bit from last year numbers. I forgot to correct that. But anyway, it leads to a gap needed to retire of an average of 1.37, 1.4 million. Okay. Generation Z thinks they need 1.63 million. They've only saved 22,000, just under 23. Millennials think they need 1.65. They've only saved 62.6 thousand. Gen Xers predicts that they need 1.56, but they've only saved 108,000. Okay. Boomers, this is the older group. No offense to my audience, because I know a lot of you are on there. Think that you'll need just under $1 million, $990,000, and you've only saved roughly about 8% of that, 120,000. Now, high net worth individuals say that they'll need, drum roll, 3.93 million, and they've only saved 172,000. So here's the thing: if you're a boomer, you're closer probably to your goals in the high net worth. So yay, right? The percentage higher. But what about taxes? Okay, when you retire, obviously taxes are going to be hopefully going to be at a lower income bracket at that point than you are now. So taxes will be a little bit less than what they are now. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in 10, 20, 30, 40 years? Remember when it is. But when you think about this, how do you hit your retirement goals? Okay, how do you hit your retirement goals to achieve this without working yourself to death? Totally understand it, because that's what most people are feeling, right? I'm going to have to work myself to death to make this happen. I can't work enough. I have to get 2 full-time jobs, one to get by and then one to save for something from now. And that's not fun. I've been there, done that. Nobody wants to work 80 hours a week. I've worked myself to death before and made a lot of money, but also didn't get to enjoy it. I was sick. I was, just not feeling good. I couldn't enjoy life. And I've gotten more comfortable. Like, listen, I don't need to have these huge, lofty goals because I know that seems impossible. I got to save to get that. I can reverse engineer that number to figure out what do I need to do on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis to achieve those goals. All right. So that's what I want you to think. I want you to approach it from a different aspect. Okay. I always joke that, these numbers seem like an elephant, right? And the way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time and not ass and first, right? Nobody wants to get shit taste in their mouth right off the bat. Let's start somewhere good. I don't know. I've never eaten an elephant. Don't know if you can. Not getting that. But you get the point I'm trying to make here. The idea here is have a plan and put the plan in place and be patient. This is something that's not going to happen overnight. For some of you out there, you've got longer than I do. So for some of you, you've got less time than I do. The idea here is you can either sit here and wallow in it. Woe is me. I can't do crap. Rely on Uncle Joe or Uncle Donald to try to save you. We know that's not going to happen. You have to start taking care of yourself and doing things and really have some tough questions and start showing up in your spare time and look at what you're doing. And when I do my free time valuable, has it been valuable? Because listen, we're all exactly where we're at today because of the decisions we've made along the way. Period. End of statement. Nobody's held a gun to your head. I don't care what color you are, what race, what ethnicity. I don't care who you want to sleep with, whatever. What do you wear? I don't give a rat's ass about it. I am an equal party person when it comes to taking action. And the plan I have in place doesn't matter what race you are, what sex, what you call yourself, what you wear, how fat or skinny you are, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Okay. It comes down to taking action and getting things done. And this plan, it's going to take some work, but it's a workable plan if you'll do it. Okay. So how do we hit your retirement goals? Now, the question to answer yourself is what can you start doing now to hit your goals without giving up? Don't give up. That's the worst thing nobody has. This is over time. Okay. Now, if you look at it, I'm a big believer, and you've heard this probably before, but start investing in cash flowing assets using OPM. Now, what is OPM? Other people's money. Now, before you get all upset and hang up on me or unlock this because, I can't find my, look, there are deals out there all across the country. I'm in Austin, Texas, one of the most overpriced markets out there. We're finding deals on a variety of different things. There's multiple ways to do it. Maybe it's not note investing. Maybe it's a variety of other things. But I'm saying is start investing in cash flowing assets using OPM. Okay. And we'll talk about some of those different cash flowing assets. Okay. But if you look at, you need to say on average, based on this poll, you need $1.5 million needed. Okay. Now, if you're getting a 6% return, remember, a lot of financial advisors say, hey, your money needs to make 8 to 12% before retirement, then 4% afterwards to keep up with inflation and all that stuff. That's fine. But what I want to look at is, okay, what kind of cash flow is that 1.5 million to provide to me? And how do I get to that cash flow number? Okay. Reverse engineering. I know. So if you needed 1.5 million and you were going to get a 6% return off of that, that means 90 grand a year coming in. Okay. Pretty simple. 1.5 million times 0.06 equals 90 grand a year. Okay. That's $7,500 a month. Now, if you go all the way down to 10%, if you're going to get a 10% return on your money, I could have gone higher, but we'll just say 10% of your money. That's 150 grand a year. It's about $12,000 a month, give or take 12.5 if I'm correct. Okay. So how do we dive into those numbers to make this happen, to replace it? So to replace 90K a year on cash flow, $75 a month, you've got to find assets. And this is a simple thing. This is taken straight from different articles, talking with different investors. You find assets. I'm talking about assets, real estate assets for us, or an investment that pays you back, that's bringing in a cash flow above what you're paying underlying money partners or investments. It's going to cash flow 500 at a minimum 250 or greater. Okay. I reverse it, 250 to 500 to see the reason why. Now, a lot of people will buy a rental property, and there was an article about, $100 a month. Look, I don't want to waste my time for $100 because that's too narrow a margin if there's an 250 a month cash flow, that's $3 grand a year per asset, and a minimum or up to $6 grand if you're getting $500 or more. We've got people that have bought assets getting more than $500 a month cash flow. It all depends on where you're at and what your strategy is. Okay. I just literally got in a list of 60 notes that are all going to cash flow more than 250 a month. Okay. So if you divide that number, you take 7,500, divide that by 500, that's 15 deals. If you take 7,500 and divide that by 250, it's really simple, 30 deals. So you need somewhere between 15 and 30 deals to get to the 90K okay, a year or $7,500 a month. And yes, this can be done. Now, if you wanted to go on the high end, and I wanted to go from basically that 90K to that 150K, that's 12.5, same thing, $500 to $250 a month in cash flow. However, that spread is, you means you need to do somewhere between 25 to 50 deals. And it can be done. We're not talking about doing these all in a month. That would be nice, right? But you can do these things realizing, hey, you've got some time. For most of us, you've got time to put these things to work to get rock and roll. So let's go about that. So what types of deals are you going to be looking for? Well, if you're a real estate investor like I am, I like to target performing notes that I can buy at a bit of a discount or a good yield, or a performing note that I can buy at a double-digit return where I'm paying my investor an interest rate and keeping the difference. I like non-performing notes too that I can buy at a bigger discount, get them reperforming for great cash flow, get a little skin in the game from the borrowers, and then either one of those I can hold for cash flow or I can sell them off for a big profit in 12, 24, 36 months. We talked about rental property. Some people like individual doors. Other people like apartment syndications to get that where they're taking multiple doors. Whatever, fine. I'm not sitting here to poo-poo on any strategy. Whatever your strategy is, great. Another strategy that's really big is subject to deals, where you take over underlying mortgage payments and you either arbitrage it by owner financing it to somebody else. So if you got a 4% interest rate on an underlying mortgage, you owner finance it at 8. You're making a difference between besides paying off their underlying mortgage. You use some cash down payment from the cash buyer, and then you also make a money in the back end by the difference between what their mortgage is that you owner finance it to versus what your underlying mortgage is at 4% because you've been paying that down for years. Or you turn them in a rental, okay, and you're cash flowing $250 to $500 a month. The smaller the cash flow, the little bit riskier it is, I say, because there's little things that can happen. The bigger the cash flow, it gives you more room. Look, you're going to have ebbs and flows, okay? Maybe $200 a month on one. Maybe it's $700. It just varies, but the average number is what we're looking at. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this can be done. Don't give up. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. A little journey there for you, okay? So let's talk about that. How do we pay for it? Because that's the next thing people say. Well, this sounds great, Scott, but I don't have any money, and you need money to buy real estate. No, you do not need your own money. Okay, you can be using other people's money. There is millions and millions and millions of dollars. I know some people, I know I'm probably sound like I'm yelling at you, but some people, when they hear this, they just give up. Well, if that's the way you're going to give up, then give up. But Wall Street, invest in there are millions of real estate investors out there that will argue with you that they don't use their own money. Don't need your own financing. We've raised millions of dollars in private capital using other people's money and doing the same thing. Find deals that are paying at least 12% or greater, okay? 12% return or greater that you can buy at a discount. Have an investor fund the transaction or lend money to you, and you're paying them a 6 to 8% return, flat return. The deal's making it 12 or more. You're keeping the difference. So you're making anywhere from 4 to 6 or greater of returns to yourself, which is really infinite. And so as long as that 4 to 6% of that spread is 250 or greater a month, guess what? I would pull the trigger and rock it. Okay. Now there's some other things. Each deal needs some due diligence and some stuff like that. But there is plenty of different opportunities out there to do that. Pay your investor a flat rate return. They're happy because their money's probably not making them much at all. 6 to 8. Okay. And then you keep the difference. They're happy. They're in a first lien position or secured by a variety of things. You're buying that asset at a discount. Yada, yada. Okay. This can be done. If you have questions about, reach out to me. I'm glad to walk you through a couple of things. Okay. So now let's figure out how many deals you need to do to hit your retirement age at 65. And so that's what we did. Now, some of you guys be closer. So if you figure this, when I pulled up the average age, where the average generation is, okay? And so like the Generation Z, they're anywhere from 12 years old to 27 years old. So I just took it on the old side, the more seasoned side. So if somebody's 27 and they want to retire at 65, that's 38 years. Basically, they need to do about one deal a year on average, bringing $250 to $500. And you do that every year, guess what? They're going to be sitting cash flow doing well, okay? Millennials, you've got about 22 years left until 65 on the older side. Do two, it was 1.5, so I rounded up to 2 a year. Do 2 a year, once every 6 months, buy another property and do that for the next 22 years, and you'll be sitting there basically a millionaire. Generation X, you've got 6 years to roughly retirement. You're a little older. And that's the oldest stuff. You need to be doing 4 year, one a quarter. Well, you're a little bit more motivated. You're a little bit elderly, throwing myself in that bundle. Okay. I'm on the younger side of Gen X, but that's okay. But once a quarter, that's doable. Okay. Now, boomers, you're there. You're really there already. And you're like shitting bricks. You're like, oh crap, I don't have that $1 million, that $990,000 that this poll said I'm doing. Well, that's okay. Guess what? Keep working, but get in the habit. If you can put your retirement off 5 years, and you go out and you find you one a month. That is possible. One a month for the next 4 years, you'll have 48 assets bringing in $250 a month. Let's figure that up real fast here. That's a pretty good stuff. 48 assets times 250 a month. That's 12 grand a month coming in. You can do it. All right. Okay. If you did it for 36 months, 36 times 250, that's your 9 grand a month to make it happen. Okay. So maybe you do it one a month for 3 years or one every 2 months for 4 years. Okay. Something like that. You can make it happen. This can be done, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll put it to work and understand and realize this takes time. It's going to take some time. And maybe if you waited and you've had some good days and bad days, stuff like that, maybe you've been hitting the things. I get it. I don't care if you've been a divorce, bankruptcy, foreclosure. This is not relying upon that. I have no credit. The whole point here is, guys, is getting out networking, learning how to do this stuff. One of the great things that we teach in our 3-day workshop is literally show you how to build a cash flow plan and bring in 6 figures a year in income. All right. And that's not a bid for this. If you'd like to take advantage of, listen to the ad at the end of this, sign up for our monthly membership at $97 a month. We're here to help you out there. Okay. By all means, we are not getting rich at $97 a month, but it's worth our time to help you out. Okay. So here you go, guys. Look at this way. If you look at millennials, did I just screw this up? Yeah, I guess I doubled it. Yeah, I doubled that. You got to start doing this. All right. I meant to put that other thing in there. But here's the thing. You can use, speaking of taxes, you can do a lot of this in your self-directed IRA. You can leverage other people's money in their IRAs and make it happen. Yeah, I can pay some taxes, but there's things to use like an educational savings account. You can use a Roth. You can take your 401k if you've left a job and convert that to a self-directed IRA. Use that to get started. The whole point here is not just to use your money. Most of you, if you're just waiting on your own money, yeah, you're going to have to give up. Okay. You don't have enough. If you don't have enough, that's fine. Go out and find it. Go network. Go to your local real estate clubs. Jump on the county records. There's a whole series that we talk about raising private capital to help you go make things happen. And it's universal across the board. I don't care if it's notes, rentals, short-term rentals, whatever, Airbnb, multifamily. Look, everything ebbs and flows. The point is investors never stop investing. We never retire. We really keep this going. And this is something to take a look at and get rock and roll. So once again, guys, don't give up. The younger you are, the more opportunity you have, one a year. The older you are, oh crap, you better get started doing one a month for the next couple of years to make things happen. So I hope you guys found this valuable. We'll put a link to the full article in the description there for you. I want you guys to understand that, listen, don't feel bad. We've all been there, rode the roller coaster, made mistakes. The biggest thing you can do is not feel guilty and start taking action. Realize that if you just wallow in your despair, you're not going to it's only going to get worse. So get up, take action, go make offers, go make it happen. You'll get better at what you do. All right. If you need to close on 22 deals, expect that I have to make 220 offers because most investors have about a 10% closing rate. And you can make it happen. 220 offers. That's, if you do that over 2 years, that's 110 a year. That's one every 3 days. You can find deals in bulk and tapes and stuff like that to make it happen. We see it happen all the time. So go out, guys, take some action. Feel free to book a call with me at talkwithscottcarson.com. That's talkwithscottcarson.com. We are here to help you achieve your goals. Don't give up on retirement. Keep believing in your dreams, and we'll see you at the top. Bye, everybody.